And that prayers that God answered is what you've been prepared for right now. So it shouldn't be a phase of fear. It is what you prayed for. You don't pray for long life and then become afraid of retirement. Retirement is part of the answers to the prayers that you prayed. So the question you should be asking right now is, what do I do with this next phase of my life? Because it will come. If it has not yet come to your doorstep, it is already approaching. But you know what? This is the phase of legacy. So we have the first learning phase. We have the second, which is the engagement phase. And then the third is the legacy phase. And the legacy phase is one of the most beautiful phases in life and existence. This is the phase when you look back, you see the record, the exploit, your contribution to humanity, and your contribution to the systems that in the nation where you have worked, and you now begin to thank God for life and begin to thank God for the health that He has given to you. Anyone at this level right now that will look back and have nothing to appreciate God for may either be because they didn't contribute value to the system, and so they have nothing to reap in the future, also called value. Or they had opportunities of contributing values, but they didn't make the best of that moment. Retirement stage is the phase of legacy, where you look back and you appreciate the time you spent in the service. You appreciate the people you've been able to raise, that you're preparing for the next phase, like those that will succeed you or take over from you. We understand that one or two things happen in the system, where some people come to the age of retirement and they begin to falsify age, and they begin to reduce a lot of things. But I want to believe that none of us seated there may be part of that. So I say this, in this legacy phase, let it be the phase that you appreciate. And then begin to think of what next to do. You don't retire because you're tired. You're retiring because there is something greater, there is something better. It's like you've been given liberty to become yourself. Being given liberty to become a better person. This phase of legacy is the phase where you build more, number one, for the society, number two, for your children, and also you make it to be the phase of appreciation to God. The first 20 to 25 years is our learning phase. I know we have learned so much. That is why we're here. The next 20 to 25 years is our engagement phase, which prepares us for the next phase called the legacy phase. The next 20 to 25 is the legacy phase. What we expect that every one of us will receive or learn from here today is what we're going to use to consolidate this legacy phase. If you are 65 today, you still have at least, possibly, if God gives us grace, the next 15 years to become 80. This next 15 years, you can make the best of it by virtue of what you're about to receive right now. Learning is a lifetime thing. So we're also here to learn. And this 15 years we're talking about is not too far. If you've covered 65 and you still feel that 65 is not much, then how much can 15 be? But you know what? You can make the best of this 15. That is why we are here. What would the next 15 years be like? What would the next 20 years be like? What would the next 25 years be like? This is a phase of establishing the best of legacy for your family, for the society, and for humanity. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for those words of exhortation and encouragement. I know it's going to go a long way. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to recognize in our midst the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, Mr. Oloruntola Olufemi Michael. You're welcome, sir. Also in our midst is Dr. Chris Ora, O'Hare and his beautiful wife, Dr. Stephanie O'Hare. You're welcome. Please, we'll quickly take the jingle from the JFK Consult. Media, if you are ready, please. Media is not ready. Okay, I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Charles Osazua. You're welcome, sir. So, since the jingle is not ready, when it's ready, we'll play it. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please, may we all rise. I ask respectfully that we rise as I bring to the microphone the one and only head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Walsinjak, OON, MNI, for her keynote address. Please, we can do better with our applause, please. Thank you very much for the honor. Thank you very much. We may all be seated. Thank you very much.
Our very distinguished collaborator in the person of Mr. James Abiona, the transformative permanent secretaries here present, very distinguished resource persons, directors, deputy directors, and staff of the Federal Civil Service, the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. So I watched Mr. James Abiona in that perfect act. And I said to myself, I don't think I can act as well as he does. But I also have a story. I'd like to tell us a story before I go into my speech. And the story is of a gentleman who worked in the then Shell BP. For those who don't know, that is now Shell of today, SPDC.